everyone, thanks for joining my book club today. My name is Emma, and today we'll be talking about The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. The Princess Diaries, as you can see, is one of my favorite books. It is well loved. I've read it so many times throughout my life, and it really just always brings me so much comfort. So today is going to be a little bit different. Instead of recapping a book that I've read for the first time, I'm going to be recapping The Princess Diaries, but I want to reread it here with you. So in order to mix it up and make it a little bit of a different experience, not just something that I've done a couple of times, I poured myself a beautiful cocktail, a little bit of Kahlua, a little bit of almond Baileys, and we're gonna enjoy this while we read one of my favorite books of all time. So I look forward to enjoying this all with you. Let's get started.
It's a book club with Em.
I love rereading books because every time you come back to it, you are bringing something different of yourself. So every time it's like kind of a different experience. So we started off and her mom has given her this journal or diary to write about her feelings because her mom is dating her algebra teacher. Okay, so we have now introduced two other main characters that are going to be important in this book. Josh, which is the love interest, like senior cool jock whatever, and Lana, who is a freshman but is dating Josh and is mean to Mia. So that's good to know. Good to know. Whew, it's good stuff. Mia's dad can't have kids. He just found out and he called his mom, and she said, "We have to be very understanding of him right now because men have needs, and one of them is the need to feel progenitively omnipotent," which I think is a good turn of phrase. And the other one is, "He never married my mom. My mom says that's because at the time she rejected the bourgeois mores of a society that didn't even accept women as equals to men and refused to recognize her rights as an individual. I kind of always thought that maybe my dad had just never asked her." Oh, Helen, I love you. Okay. This is the good part. Her dad is now in Manhattan, and she's writing about the experience that she had talking to him. She just found out that he's a prince. She's so stupid. I love her, but she's so stupid. She's been to Genovia before, and she didn't know? Okay, anyway. A lot of things are beginning to make sense now, like how when I fly to France, I just walk onto the plane from the terminal, but when I get there, I'm escorted off the plane before everyone else and taken away by a limo to meet my dad at our French vacation home. I always thought that was because he had frequent flyer privileges. I guess it's because he's a prince. Okay, now we go to the next one. So she was at the plaza with her dad, and he says she's a prince. He's a prince. So she goes to the bathroom because she's hiccuping and trying to stop hiccuping. And she finally stops hiccuping, and so then she goes back to talking to her dad. And now she's in the Central Park Zoo penguin house, it says at the top, and she's freaked out. And obviously we know this is because when he said that he was a prince and that he couldn't have any more kids, she didn't like put together, which is like fair, that like that meant that she would have to be like acting princess of Genovia, but now she has realized that and she's freaking the out. So, ooh, what? A princess? Me? So I like that we're getting to know a little bit more about my favorite part of Mia, which is that she's like really passionate about the environment. She wants to work for Greenpeace after high school. She doesn't want a car because of emissions. She's a vegetarian. Yeah, she just like has a really good conscience, I think, even though she's sometimes a little dumb. Okay, so we finally get to see a little bit of Mia and Michael, and they're so cute because Mia is spending the night at Lily's house and they're watching all of James Bond movies, and he could tell that she was sad because he came in to say that her dad was on the phone and she was like, because she didn't want to talk to him because of the whole Prince thing. So he was like, I'll just tell him you're asleep. And then he came in and he brought the dog in, even though the dog isn't allowed in the parents' bed. And so it licked Mia's face, and now she's all happy and she's talking to Michael and she's asking, in the name of science, I asked Michael if it was the end of the world and he had to repopulate the planet, but he could only choose one life mate, who would it be? Xena from Xena Warrior Princess, or Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? After telling me how weird I was for thinking of something like that, Michael chose Buffy. Okay, another important thing about the book is like a lot of people have probably watched the movie and not read the book, which is totally fine because the movie is fabulous. And actually you can listen to Anne Hathaway reading this book like in an audiobook, which I totally recommend. It's super fun. But one thing that is completely different in the book and the movie is Mia's grandmother. It's a French word for grandmother. I don't know how to say it. I always say grand-mère in my head. I know that's completely wrong, but grandma.
How to say grandmother and grandfather in French. Grandmother. Grand-mère. Grandmother.
Grand-mère. I don't know. Anyway, she is like not Julie Andrews. She is not a nice lady. And so this line is like, my dad is totally rigid in the discipline department. My mom says that's because grandma used to punish him when he was a little boy by locking him into this one really scary room in their house. Now that I think about it, the house my dad grew up in is probably the castle, and that scary room was probably the dungeon. Okay, so anyway, that's like really a big difference to know about these books that a lot of people are surprised about. That's super different from the movie. Poor Mia's about to get a wake-up call that her awful grandmother, grand-mère, is no longer in France. She is in fact in Manhattan. Just take a second of silence for Princess Mia. Okay. So I put my hair up because it was bothering me and getting my face when I was reading. I refilled my drink and I'm ready to read Mia meeting her grandmother. She knows her. She's not meeting her. She just is in Manhattan instead of France. So that's what I meant. So her grandmother was like, so you have to wear pantyhose and lipstick and nail polish and nice shoes to our princess lesson tomorrow. And she didn't want to wear them at school, so she changed into them after school in the bathroom. But of course, guess who's at school after school for computer club like a freaking nerd? Michael. So he sees her coming out of the bathroom all dressed up, and he says, Christ, Thermopolis, what happened to you? It's makeover time, bitches. Yes. Okay, so this is the thing about Mia. She's 14, and she clearly is a little bit self-conscious, about her looks. But if you think about it, she's like 5'9", she has beautiful gray eyes. Like, her mom is pretty, so she's probably pretty. Like, she doesn't think she's pretty, but I bet she's like model, like a freaking model. Like, she's like 5'9", come on. Anyway, she's got a makeover, she got highlights. everyone is gonna make fun of her, and Lily, as we know, is gonna be really freaking pissed because she is super judgmental. Okay, we are halfway through. I refilled my drink. I refilled my water because you have to stay hydrated. Okay, and Lily just flipped out at Mia because she got her hair and stuff done, and Mia finally snapped at Lily and was like, shut up. So Michael. He's like, maybe I could help you with algebra. He's so into her. Oh my god. He's so into her. So sweet. This is my favorite. This is the iconic scene from the movie that is also in the book. Lana is at Mia's table and she's making fun of her for her new hair, and Tina comes up with an ice cream and gives it to Mia because she's just like a really freaking sweet girl, and then Lana says something mean to Tina and makes fun of her, and Tina gets sad. And then a strange thing happened. I was sitting there looking at the tears welling up in Tina Hakim Baba's eyes, and the next thing I knew, I'd taken my Nutty Royale and thrust it with all my might at the front of Lana's sweater. Lana looked down at the vanilla ice cream, hard chocolate shell, and peanuts that were sticking to her chest. Josh, Richter, and the other jocks stopped talking and looked at Lana's chest too. The noise level in the cafeteria plummeted to the quietest I've ever heard. Everyone was looking at the ice cream cone sticking to Lana's chest. It was so quiet I could hear Boris's breathing through the wires of his bionator, whatever that is. Then Lana started to scream. Yeah, bitch. Mia's got a 98 on a test her grandmother gave her, and she's proud, so she stapled it into her journal. This is my favorite question. What is the appropriate reply to make to a man who says he loves you? Thank you. You are very kind. I fucking love grandma. But then she's got like, what are the characteristics of capitalism? What did Marx consider to be the contradiction in capitalism? Like, this is like stuff I talked about in fucking college. So I don't know. Mia is not stupid. She's not stupid. So Michael is tutoring her right now in G&T, and he goes, anyway, then Michael asked me a strange question. He went, so, are you grounded? I looked at him kind of funny. You mean for getting detention? No, of course not. My mom is totally on my side. My dad wants to sue the school. Michael said, oh, well, I was wondering because if you weren't busy Saturday, I thought maybe we could. But then Mrs. Hill came in and made us all fill out questionnaires for the PhD she's doing on urban youth violence. Then the bell rang and I ran out as fast as I could. I knew what Michael was going to ask me. See, he was going to suggest we meet to go over my long division, which he says is a human tragedy, and I just didn't think I could take it. Math? On the weekend? After spending almost every waking moment on it all week? No, thank you. But I didn't want to be rude, so I left before he could ask me. Was that terrible of me? Really, a girl can only take so much criticism on her. He was gonna ask you out! Come on! Come on! Wednesday, Principal Gupta's office. It's over. I'm dead. That's it. Now I know what everyone was looking at outside. I know why they were whispering and giggling. I know why those girls ran out of the bathroom. I know why Josh Richter talked to me. My picture is on the cover of the Post. That's right, the New York Post. Read by millions of New Yorkers daily. Oh yeah, I'm dead. Okay, so stupid Josh is asked her to the dance, and she's like, he's probably only asking me because I'm a princess, but I don't care. Maybe he's seen deep into my soul and he knows my depths and wants to get to know me better. Anyway, so Michael looks at Lars and he goes, you're going too, right? And Lars went, oh yes. Of course, they didn't talk in the limo because they don't have anything in common. They don't know each other, and Josh truly does not care about getting to know her. He's such an asshole, and she knows it. Okay, we're headed to the big thing. I only have a couple pages left. Time to finish my drink. So I'm appreciative of his arm since it's keeping me warm. It's a nice arm, really, very muscular from all the rowing. The only problem is, Josh doesn't smell that good. Not a bit like Michael Moskovitz, who always smells like soap. No, I think Josh must have taken a bath in Drakkar Noir, which in large doses actually smells pretty vile. I could hardly breathe, but whatever. In spite of that, I'm thinking, okay, things aren't so bad. Yes, he didn't respect my rights as a vegetarian, but you know, everybody makes mistakes. We'll go to the dance, he'll look into my soul again with those electric blue eyes, and everything will be all right. Boy, was I ever wrong. Oh no, they get there and they get to the school and there's all these fucking paparazzi and shit. Josh totally called them because he's a fucking asshole. He's such a fucking asshole. He totally runs up there and kisses her. That is not consent, buddy. And she did not like the kiss. There were no fireworks. In the books that Tina reads, there's always fireworks. But she's asserting herself. She turned to Josh. Why did you do that? He was busy patting himself down and trying to find the dance tickets. Do what? Kiss me like that in front of everybody. I don't know. Didn't you hear them? They were yelling at me to kiss you, so I did. Why? Because I didn't appreciate it. You didn't appreciate it? You mean you didn't like it? Yes, I said. That's exactly what I mean. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Because I know you didn't kiss me because you like me. You kissed me because I'm the Princess of Genovia. Josh looked at me like he thought I was crazy. That's crazy, he said. I like you. I like you a lot. I said, you can't like me a lot. You don't even know me. That's why I thought you asked me out, so you could get to know me better. But you haven't tried to get to know me at all. You just wanted your picture on Extra. He laughed at that, but I noticed he didn't look me in the eye when he said, what do you mean I don't know you? Of course I know you. No, you don't, because if you did, you wouldn't have ordered me a steak for dinner. I heard a murmur go around through all my friends. I guess they recognized the seriousness of Josh's mistake, even if he didn't. He heard them too, so when he replied, he was talking to them too. So I ordered the girl a steak, he said, with his arms open in a so-sue-me sort of way. That's a crime? It was a filet mignon, for God's sake. Lily said in her meanest voice, she's a vegetarian, you sociopath. This information didn't seem to bother Josh very much. He just shrugged and went, oops, my bad. Then he turned to me and said, ready to slide? But I had no intention of sliding with Josh. I had no intention of doing anything with Josh ever again. I couldn't believe, after what I just said, he thought I'd still want to. The guy really was a sociopath. How could I have ever thought he'd seen into my soul? How? She's just like, I don't want someone who doesn't like me for me. And then she says, of course, now that everyone knows I'm a princess, it's going to be hard to tell which guys like me for me and which guys like me for my tiara. I know who likes you for you, Mia. Her and Lily aren't fighting anymore. Her and Tina and Lily and everyone are all friends again. Mr. Giannini said he was raising her grade from an F to a D, and I slow danced with Michael Moskovitz. Oh my god, this is my favorite part of the book. Michael tells her what he's been doing locked up in his room. He's been making music, and he plays her a song that he wrote called Tall Drink of Water. It's about a very tall, pretty girl who doesn't know this boy is in love with her. I predict that one day it will be #1 on the Billboard chart. Michael Moskovitz could one day be as famous as Bob Dylan. He's in love with her. Okay, so I just finished the book, and it was just, it's always so heartwarming to read this book. It makes me feel so good inside. As I said at the beginning, it's just a real comfort book for me. So I definitely recommend it, whether you've watched the movie, whether you haven't watched the movie. There are like 9 more of these. So if you liked this video, let me know. I can always do more. Let me know what you thought. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, have a great day and happy reading. Bye guys.